Hello, good day, and welcome to eri-tv News. I am Victoria broadcasting from Canada, and these are the headlines for today's stories. 7 killed in Ethiopia mine collapse. East African millions needed to thwart Horn of African crisis. Ethiopia in-depth analysis attacks by armed group from Amhara state continue to displace thousands in western Oromia. Bringing you this in detail after the short break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back from that short break. Now news in detail. 7 killed in Ethiopia mine collapse. At least 7 people were killed after an illegal mine collapse in Ethiopia, Oromia regional state officials said Tuesday. The victims were residents who had dug deep shafts in an area where Ethiopian mining ministry had been searching for minerals. Artisanal miners are critical players in the country's gold mining sector in general. However, the condition at which artisan miners operate remain an issue of concern. In recent years, the East African country has undertaken a mass sensitization campaign to combat contraband mining activities that have been partly blamed for Ethiopian achieving low mining revenues in previous years. Moving on to the other story, still in East African news, millions needed to thwart Horn of African crisis. The World Food Program 327 US to avert another major humanitarian crisis in the Horn of Africa. An estimated 13 million people in the region are faced with acute food insecurity and severe water shortage due to the drought. This follows 3 consecutive poor rainy seasons. The funds are urgently needed to support almost 4.5 million people affected by the drought. As of January 2022, the most severely affected regions are in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia. Current meteorological forecasts indicate the region will experience warmer than normal temperatures over the January-March 2022 dry season. The World Food Program seeks $327 million to avert another major humanitarian crisis in the Horn of Africa. An estimated 13 million people in the region are faced with acute food insecurity and severe water shortage due to the drought. This follows 3 consecutive poor rainy seasons. Current meteorological forecast indicates that the region will experience warmer than normal temperatures over the January-March 2022 dry season. Still in Ethiopian news, and this is the last story, in-depth analysis attacks by armed group from Amhara state continue to displace thousands in western Oromia. Addis Ababa, the ongoing violence in East Wolenga and Horogusu zones in western Oromia continue, driving thousands of people out of their homes, according to multiple accounts received by Addis Standard from the displaced residents of the 2 zones. The residents of the East Wolenga zone flee their home due to attack by what they describe as armed group belonging to local Amhara militia and complain that the local administration is forcing them to return to their villages before keeping the assailant at bay. Similarly, the resident of Abadagro Wodra in the Horokundru zone told Addis Standard that about 30 people, including women and children, are killed by Amhara armed groups on the morning of Saturday, 12 February. The offensive was carried out by the Amhara militia in Botorobora Kebli of Agbedongru Rorido on February 12. Residents said the attack that claimed the life of 29 people was accompanied by looting and destruction of property, where more than 64 houses were set ablaze. A resident of Agbedongru Rorido who spoke to Addis Standard on condition of anonymity said Amhara militia came together from Abedengro, Urida, and Jangadajat warders and mercilessly killed 20 people, including women and children. The eyewitness explained that the armed group began to assembly to look for 2 of their members who they said went missing in the Denguru Urida city. At dawn, before many of us rose from sleep, they opened the fire. That was what a witness said. They killed whoever was in shooting range. They burnt houses. Many were people were in it. The rest of us ran for our lives, he narrated. According to the eyewitnesses, apart from those whose bodies were recovered, there are many people whose whereabouts were still unknown. They also took several young girls and women by force, he added. Another resident of the Warrior, who is also a survivor of the attack, said he waked up to gunshot houses running, burning around me, and people running for their lives. He immediately took his family and escaped, he added. His house was burnt with all of his belongings. They also stole 16 heads of cattle from him. Witnesses explained that the majority of the victims were children, women, and the elderly. They have buried 19 people and have since found 2 bodies, he recalled, adding he heard that they found the heads of 9 people in other places. The survivor, who spoke to the Standard while he was in hiding, said, "We plead that security forces come to our rescue. Even though our houses were burnt, we want our stolen properties to be returned so that we can go back to our village and at least live in tent. We went to the corporate to be held." The residents said that neither the local administration nor security forces tried to address the violence, leaving them in fear of imminent attack as they sought to refuge in adjacent cables. At this standard attempt to speak to the administrator of the Agbadagru Wurido, Boriso Hill, and the head of Florida's Peace and Security Bureau, Edugu Wogo, were to no avail. So this is where I end the news on Alena Media TV. I am Victoria, and thanks for watching.